go. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Take number what?
100. It feels like.
I hope. Please, God of Zoom, God of remote podcast. Please make this work.
Yeah. Indeed, because wow, it's late.
Ooh.
Anyway, how goes it?
Is. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
I am good.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's been a long. I can't believe tomorrow's Friday. It's Friday. I'm ready to sing. Hey, hey.
Nice.
What are you plans for Friday?
I'm working from home tomorrow.
That's good.
So, yeah, not a lot to be honest.
Yeah.
Just chilling out, cleaning the house.
Cleaning the house. Any Netflix?
Have we watched the Netflix? No Netflix.
No.
How?
I don't
what
think.
watching?
I started watching Unorthodox because you recommended it.
Good.
Really, really good. I'm gonna continue watching that. I saw Michael Jordan's The Last.
Yeah, I've been watching it too. Yeah.
Oh, really? How is it?
I'm really enjoying it. Like, I guess because that's what I remember there was a time I think it must have been it would have been high school, sorry, when we were like, a few of us in our class were so interested in like basketball, we knew about the 3 points, we used to come home and watch it. And Michael Jordan or Dennis Rodman were what we used to see, like
right
on the screen. So I'm enjoying that whole docuseries because it's just like value of
really
working, and I'm just like, wow, those guys should actually write a book. Like, it's just amazing to actually see how he started off, or how they started off as just like a one man player to a teamwork and stuff. I find it fascinating.
I can't wait to get into it. I kind of thought I'm gonna wait for like more episodes. Like, how many parts is it? Do you know?
I don't know how many parts we've watched. About, I think 3 or 4. I don't know how many in total, but about 4 like new episodes each week, and just bring it all out Gawani, and watch it, binge watch it over the weekend kind of thing. But still waiting. Yeah,
it kind of makes you think though, like Kobe Bryant, because if you remember, like when he was, I don't know if you can hear the police. Outside. Wasn't me.
And they're coming to your apartment though. They're coming to your flat.
You love my paper. No. But I don't know
if the recording abruptly, then you'll know what.
You what?
The recording.
What did that girl say? It was like, the one was like, I'm legally blind. Do you remember?
No.
The meme of this girl who was like, POP, holding it down. and then she was like, they were like, can you see it? She was like, barely.
I love that.
I'm legally blind. Like, barely, POP. So I was saying, like, Kobe Bryant, like, I remember he even won an Oscar for like some documentary he was doing. So he was kind of like becoming the mogul, the business person that we kind of see Michael Jordan as today, So it's kind of really sad.
Though, wouldn't you say? Because I feel like, I don't know, maybe is it fair to say, because like Kobe is not here anymore, but I feel like I heard more about Kobe in like prior to his death than I have of Michael. Michael now, it's just like, oh yeah, there's Michael Jordan because of the whole docu-series that they've started. But I feel like I knew a lot more about Kobe, his family, and maybe it's because Michael's a little bit more private. I don't know. Maybe just he doesn't share about what he's up to and all this jazz. But yeah.
No, you're right. I think Kobe was kind of a little bit more out there. And I think Kobe's younger, so like a lot of us probably remember like Lakers with Kobe. And we like, he only retired, what, 5 or so years ago, like not too long. So Kobe was always part of the conversation. And I think like, because he was doing his whole Hollywood thing, he was like, you know, like hanging out with the Jay-Z's, Beyonce's, like we would see him courtside with his daughter, because, you know, he was coaching his daughter. So yeah, so and you're right, I think Michael Jordan has been, you know, really, like, he's a private person apart from the memes.
Yeah.
Did you see the new one?
Blowing up, the one who's like, yeah,
with the laptop. I was like, this guy is a meme king.
Else, like literally every episode that they air, he's got like, he's getting a new meme basically. It's
yeah
good fun. Also just that people just watch different things, hey, just total randomness, from things like unorthodox to basketball to, and I guess that's the quarantine vibe, isn't it? It's just like, oh, what am I watching today, you know?
Yeah, obviously we've been watching Insecure. Man, I love Insecure.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's good vibes as well, good energy. And every Monday we kind of have like a debrief on Insecure.
Yeah.
It's also quite fun.
We have our Insecure after party.
Yeah.
And I've been told you. I told you.
We don't know. It's literally open for business, you know?
Did you see? When Case of the Eggs came, I was like,
they are so good.
But let me not spoil it for people that
yeah. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it too.
It'll be interesting. So what else? What other new things have you gotten into? Have you started reading your books?
No. I'm still finishing Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers.
Okay.
Still finishing that. Yeah, I think, what else? I've just been into my podcast and stuff. And talk about podcasts, guys. Thank you so much for just bearing with us. Because we've been trying to like work out this quarantine thing. But yeah.
Yeah,
but thank you.
You know, in all honesty, like, it has also brought out this facility, which I think is, you know, it hasn't been all bad. Like, we obviously spent some time without recording, but
yeah,
back or recording, we've got visual content, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so some silver lining with all this, but yeah, I think it's just perfecting our sound, perfecting little things like that, just to make it easier to listen to and easier to consume. So we're working.
Yeah, no, we are working on it, and I know quite a few people, like podcasters and everything. Everyone is like texting each other, like, "Oh my God, the sound!" But thank you guys for, like, you know, holding us down.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You know, one of the other good things about quarantine is it's just the virtual platforms for connection. So, you know, in terms of, there's a lot of disconnect, but there's been that desire, or that, you know, the need to connect in other ways. So places like we talked about House Party in our previous episode, and just how people are on there connecting together, locking rooms and all this business, you know. And you brought up something that was quite interesting with the whole Reddit platform. So I don't know if you want to maybe just kind of talk about that.
Yeah, no, because it's like you were saying, Goli, that last week we were talking about House Party, and really kind of like talking about sometimes how easy it is to kind of build connections and share information with people that you know, you may not know well, but it's easy to talk to. So it kind of got me thinking. I was talking to somebody about Reddit, because I've never been. Have you been on Reddit? Are you a Reddit person? No, I wasn't either. I've been aware of Reddit, but then obviously, like you're saying, like, you know, we've got a little bit more time. So Reddit is like a social media platform where people like discuss things, post things anonymously. It is known for people kind of like confessing stuff. Or like like just posting stuff that you know, we don't know whether it's true or not, but I do think for the most part it probably is. There probably is some truth. There are some parts of Reddit that are really dark, because some of the things that people be saying. But I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of like read out a few and get your take on. So there was there is, like, you guys can like look it up online, and I know like there's things like subreddit. I'm not too familiar with all the Reddit language. So there was a thread which asked, what's your secret that could literally ruin your life if it came out, right? And then people posted. But before I go on, do you have a secret that could
I do, yeah,
that could ruin your life if it came out? Let me look at you closely.
I mean, it's...
You could? You do?
This is like commentators now, so you know.
Okay, no judgment zone. You know me.
Okay.
No, you don't need to say what it is. Please don't. Don't say what it is.
I thought this was a safe space.
Well, I mean, listen. Okay. Go on. She's acting.
Of course I'm acting. Like, what the heck would I... If that was something that would ruin my life. Yeah, this is going to be the place where I'm going to declare it. And actually, I don't have anything that's deep, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, do you?
No, I don't have anything that could ruin my life if it came out. No. I probably have things that would surprise people.
Like what?
Take them aback.
Like what?
In a good way, or
like what?
You know, I don't know, just differently. But now you, my mom tandas in some circles, you know. So
our tandas, so
I am a prayer warrior and intercessor, midnight watcher.
Midnight who?
Watcher. You know, like there's an actual term, like a watchman. Do you know that?
And you're one of the midnight watchers.
Yes, like it's yeah, like people who do that actually, like
you censor when I was censoring. So I understand there'll be people who are maybe praying into the night. What will you be doing?
And that's what I'll be doing. Praying, travailing, praying into the night. Then you guys wake up in the morning just like, not knowing that we've been fighting spiritual battles.
Right? Amen, sis. We thank God for you. That continue screaming into screaming into the night.
Listen, we're here because of prayer.
Amen.
So anyway, so I think there'll be things that may surprise people, but not too much, because they'll be like, she's just a baby girl.
One thing. One random thing about you that we don't already know.
What?
Just one random thing that might surprise people about you. Like your real age, for starters, sis, your real age. 36 years old.
First of all, I'm not 36. But I'm not far from 36.
Let's just stop there. What did people say?
I'm not far from 36, but I'm not 36. And I am X years older than you. Younger than you.
Thank you. We have it on recording now. So
no, I'm younger than you. I'm younger than you.
Barely. But anyway, what sort of comments did people say? Like, in.
Barely. You were in crash when I was born.
Sis.
You're already playing hide and seek.
I could barely, like, you know, make night or day when you were born. Seriously, I had no idea what were the difference.
You're eating solids. You're eating hard food.
It was a very much liquid diet.
Okay. Anyway, back to Reddit, right? So I just want to get like your take.
Yeah.
So what do you want to start with? Kenya or mother?
Let's do the mother one.
Okay. So this user on Reddit said, okay, my mother has multiple sclerosis and her health has deteriorated fast since I have been born. She has gone from being able to walk to needing a cane, to needing a walker, to complete wheelchair usage, and now completely bedridden. She has a urinary tract infection that is untreatable and is constantly in physical and emotional pain. She takes prescribed medication for depression and bipolar disorder, as well as sleeping pills. Throughout my childhood, she has tried to kill herself 3 times because she wants the pain to stop. In the middle of the night, I bought something from a dealer and snuck into my house to give it to my mother. She passed away within 2 hours. My dad, sisters, and brother have no clue.
Wow, that is deep.
What say you?
Well, from a moral standpoint, you know, I'm not the giver or taker of life. And I feel like the moment you start making such decisions, I think it's quite dark. I think we just go down a very dark path because, you know, if you feel like you're able to, it starts off like that. It starts off, oh, my mother's in a lot of pain. Tomorrow your father has a headache and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's true.
Out, no problem. You know, so I don't know. I hope that story is not true. So did he or she say that the family doesn't know that this is?
Yeah, they don't know.
So he's carrying this burden, or is it?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's kind of a burden. But in the replies, they were like, "Oh, I'm actually relieved to have written it out because it's something that I'm keeping to myself." And
in a way, you're taking away that person's decision, because you know, if somebody is suffering, you know, and we also like I obviously I don't know what that person's mother was going through, and I can't comment on that. But we all go through suffering at some point in time. You know, there's things that will hurt us physically, emotionally, at a deeper level than, you know, maybe that one day in our Mbona, when she was like, I'm in so much pain. You know, maybe the following day it would have been better, but at the same time, it could have been worse. But I don't feel like we should be making such decisions on our own. I don't know. And that being said, I've seen people who are suffering, you know, with illness, and, you know, you feel really helpless watching them go through that journey. You feel that they probably feel very much on their own. You feel like you're not doing anything to help them. It's traumatic, but then the moment you start thinking, oh Lord, it's going through too much, let me help them along their way. I feel you as an individual, you plant a seed.
It's really hard. I think you've said everything, really. It's I couldn't imagine doing anything like that.
No.
but at the same time, living through that, it's so difficult.
It is, isn't it? Because you don't know what someone's pain is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You don't know. Nobody knows. It could be worse. It could be better. You know. And what are you denying that person of as well? You're denying them an opportunity maybe with Sasa, she would have met a grandchild or something. You denied her of that. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky. I found one on, so I'm going to read that to you. So it says, so this is written from, I guess, someone who was looking in on the situation. A lady lost her husband 4 years ago. Her daughter had been trying to get her back into the dating scene, and she finally agreed. So her daughter even found her somebody to date. So apparently it was an immediate hit. They took to one another, and after dating for 6 weeks, he asked her to join him for a weekend in Spain. So first night there, you know, because sis has been invited to Spain, dressed as he did. There she stood nude except for a pair of black panties. He was in his birthday suit. Looking her over, he asked, why the black panties? And she replied, you know, my body is yours to explore, but down there, I'm still mourning. So he knew he was not going to get lucky that night. The following night,
sorry, what?
Let me finish the story, sis. So the following night was the same. She stood there wearing I don't know if it's the same black panties, but she stood there in black panties, and he was in his birthday suit. But now he was wearing a black condom. She looked at him and asked, what's with the black condom? He replied, I want to offer my deepest condolences. What say you on the whole thing? You think it's quite interesting? Like QWHITE?
Yes. What the absolute?
Try morning. Not me, but you know, guys, like, I want to offer my deepest condolences.
And I mean, you can't.
Do you reject
condolences? Are accepted. I don't think you reject condolences. I mean, especially like deepest condolences.
That's a fair point, actually, because you can't just turn around and be like, nah. You just need to be like, oh, okay, I accept.
That has to be a joke.
I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, people are just literally like so crazy. Like, no joke. People are so crazy. Like, if this was, and somebody has gone out and like, listen, I'm mourning everywhere else. But I'm like, how come? Like, and then he goes and he's like, nah, I got a solution for that mourning. I'll make you mourn instead. Anyway.
For 4 years.
Yeah. It's mental. Oh, how about you? Anything?
What about you? Oh, okay. I've got one more.
Okay.
Choose between Diary and Kenya.
Kenya.
Okay. So this Reddit user says, I cut off all contact with everyone I know and moved to Kenya. I tell people a fake name and a fake background, and have made it appear to my family that I died on a boat trip in the Pacific.
Wow.
No, I am not joking.
Wow.
I am dead in the United States.
Wow. I mean, wow.
What do you think?
Cutting everybody out and saying that, not even cutting everybody that you have died, and you go, that is the most selfish, narcissistic behavior I have ever heard of. Abantu bakhala lapha e-United States bethi uTom bakithi uTom wasifela.
The boat capsized, or
Tom is there busy himself with the giant leaf, huh? Having pina coladas on the beach.
enjoying, you know, the Nairobi sun.
Yo, it's proper tanned as well.
Yeah, it made me think of like sorry, something in my eye. It made me think of this story, this John Darwin story. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Only from you. I think
okay.
It came out in the newspapers, didn't it? So it was like a big scandal.
In Panama, in South America. However, plot twist, his wife was in on it, right? So his wife knew that he was in Panama. Apparently, they kept it from their sons. They had 2 sons. So apparently the sons didn't know. But, I mean, I don't know.
No. They were probably...
But hear this bit out, right? So this John guy, and I'm assuming kind of maybe the same with the Kenya guy. So what happened? So the John guy, his mortgage was paid off, right? Because, you know, he died. His work paid out, like his death in service, whatever. Life insurance, a cool 250,000 was paid out to the wife. Insurance left, right, and center. You know, like people have like different covers and stuff. Yeah. And so, I mean, apart from deceiving people,
I stand.
Is that not a great act of love for his family?
Oh, is it though? Can you equate, like, you know, I mean, Panama, I'm sure, I've never been, I'm sure it's beautiful, but there's an element as well that, you know, the family, people that he's connected with, that he loses all that, you know, and you could easily argue and say that he can build that wherever he is, you know, wherever you are, and make connections with someone. But there must be an element, he can't be with his sons, he can't be with his family, or maybe you never know again what sort of family they were.
So the wife used to go to Panama.
She used to go there for what? For Amarante.
To see him. So she knew that he was alive.
But how often would you go? How often would you go there?
I think they said something like 2 or 3 times a year.
I'll bet you had a second wife.
I think I read something else. I think he did. And there was actually a picture of him. There was a picture of him and his wife. I think they got carried away. I mean, he'd been out there for like years at that point. Then they started taking a picture, which, I don't know, like some brochure for something. And that's how they were found.
Wow.
But I think it's really bad if truly the sons didn't know. I think that's the horrible bit. Yeah, if they really thought like their dad was gone.
And then all of a sudden he's there. I think it's traumatic.
Yeah. But do they pay back the insurance and all that stuff? I wonder.
Good question, actually. That's a lot of money. Would he? I don't know.
I think they went to jail.
He was working while he was in Panama. He was just living the good life, was he?
Actually, they got all that money.
So there's no need. So how can he pay back the money when he's been eating and he hasn't been income to actually, you know, I don't know. Unless it's, so many possibilities, I suppose.
Yeah. That's it from me from the Reddit streets.
Yeah. Okay, so what else is going on? What else is going on? So you said you hadn't started reading a book. You've just been podcasting. Have you listened to anything that's been interesting?
What was I listening to that was interesting? Like I talked about the Malcolm Gladwell book. I've been listening to DVSN.
Division.
A Muse in Her Feelings. That album. Huh?
What's your favorite track?
Currently, Again.
Me too. I love
Do you like Again? I also like Miss Me.
Okay, what's my favorite track? Outlandish. Ah, Unige.
Which one did she say?
Outlandish.
The way you read that song.
Again. Let's go. Again is my favorite track, like for real. I like Outlandish too, but Again is a song I'll play over and over again.
But I'm slowly getting into No Good.
Yeah, yeah. Do you like Dangerous? Yeah.
Is that the one with Buju?
Yes.
Yes.
So, you know, secretly, I love dancehall music. Like,
man, I know, like, this guy. I know Vibes is controversial, but man, I love me some Vibes.
Vibes Cartel.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, this guy as well, Christopher Martin. Like, you know.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Oh my God, there's a song. The first two seconds, I really go, but then you can't mistakenly have it on your liked songs because the first 2 words are like.
Really?
It's a good song.
Oh, you need to send it to me. Is it the one, Owner? Who sings Owner?
I don't know.
You know that song that says Daps or something? Like, bring it to the owner.
Oh, I remember that song. Who is that? Oh, who is that? That's gonna bug me. But that's also good.
Let me Google it right now. Bring it to the owner, man. That's some tune. And yeah, Dexter Daps. Bring it to the owner.
I'm going to play that shortly. But yeah, Notivation's album has been good. And what else?
Yeah.
What are things like music-wise have you been listening to?
I've been listening to old stuff. Like, obviously, there was the Teddy Riley Babyface thing. I've been listening to the playlist, to like all the old songs. I've been actually getting into, there was this, you know, like there's this music, this reggae, but it's like Polynesian reggae.
Oh.
Like Fiji, like artists from Fiji, Samoa, and places like that. So there's an artist actually called Fiji who's got like some really good music. I came across a guy called Richard Parker, who's got like a really nice song. Like it's interesting. Like yeah, they're into kind of like this reggae, like soft reggae, whatever. Reminds me of my friend Mao, who introduced me to that music. Like, she's Samoan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've been listening to that.
Okay. I'll try it out. But I think during this quarantine, it's made me really think about like, what do I actually do with my time? Because I realized that, you know, I haven't listened to any audiobooks for some time now. I actually stopped my subscription like maybe 2 months ago, and I've got that I need, that I can actually I can get and read, but I haven't really been in that zone, and I need to be in that zone. So I'm looking for, I think I said this again like last time, I really need a good book. And I know I said that I don't really want like any self-help books. I just want just easy literature, or easy just book to read, to kind of get myself out of I guess just to zone out, and just to have a parallel universe outside everything that's going on. So I'm still kind of looking for that. I did come across again a self-help book on, and I don't know, I'm just drawn to these things on life. But it's a book by Michael Haber, I don't know how you say his last name, and it's about keeping the love you find, or something like that. So it's just I'm gonna get into it. I'll try to, and I'll let you know how I go into that. But it's made me really think, like, what do I do in my day? So because it's a small part of your life, but what other things am I getting into? Like, what hobbies am I into? And apart from like TV, I listen to a lot of music. I probably listen to more music than I do watch TV. You know, like for months on end, I didn't even have a TV. So now I have a TV. So now I'm watching Netflix. But I during this time as well, like I think I've been reaching out, like I'm speaking to a lot more people as well. Definitely there's a lot more like FaceTime or WhatsApp video calls.
Yes, I've found that, like, I feel like I'm FaceTiming people more. I'm like, video calling people more. Like, I think it's that desire to want to
see people.
Yeah, and I was saying, like, I don't know if I said it in this take of the episode or previous one, that I was like, even you know, like the whole like getting closer to people. Like one of our friends, like they're now my friend. I've hijacked them from you. Like I feel like I talk to them a lot. Huh?
You think I'm for Namsa just for control?
Did you speak to
them today? Yes, I did.
What did you say?
I just said I missed you. I haven't spoken to you in ages.
Yeah.
To taking my space.
Did they say they've been talking to me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Kidding. No, I didn't say that. I didn't ask that question.
No, it's fine. So we talk like every lunchtime. Like that's our that's our thing. Like we do like lunchtime calls and stuff. Which like
you video call?
Sometimes, or like just whatever. So like I'm like, if this wouldn't have happened like during like normal times and stuff, so that's been interesting, like kind of like developing that friendship. Like that's been nice. And also like we've talked about like the, you know, like house party and stuff like that. And I think other people as well, like I'm finding that like I want to talk to them more. Like I'm missing people and stuff. Like someone, I was like, the other time I was like, oh, I miss you. And I meant it. But then so are you okay? I meant it. And like I think it's just been interesting. But what I will say as well, to contradict myself, is that I find that how can I put it? I find it difficult to, although there's this quote unquote free time, like for me, it's probably shaving time off, like travel time to work and travel time back home, right? But in actual fact, like the work itself is, my working day is actually still quite busy, right? But I don't know, I feel like how can I put this? Like if you were to go through my messages, right, there are people that I have not responded to, that I just haven't engaged with. They're probably seeing me online, seeing the podcast. They're like, this girl isn't replying to me. But do you know what it is? I think Kaya Janga in his book talks about it. And also there's this, I think I've talked about this page that I follow called the Nap Ministry. Where like basically they talk about rest, like that it's important to rest, and it's really kind of pushing against this whole grind culture and this whole thing about our value as people being linked to our productivity. right? So like the whole like, okay, what are you doing even during quarantine and all that stuff? Because I was even like, what have I done? But it's kind of like, I'm surviving. That is enough.
There was
You know,
when the people were like, oh, you should come out with a skill.
no, like I'm surviving, and that is now. It's only now that I'm like, oh, I feel like I want to create more and stuff, and that's fine. I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying before? I talked about the NAP ministry.
I don't know.
Guys, if you're listening, what was I talking about?
And I was listening intently as well. Sorry, I think I obviously.
Yeah, there's something that I wanted to say.
It's quite good.
But anyway.
It's like I've seen like some clips from the like various people talking about it and the importance of rest, and the importance, especially during this time where people are like, oh, you've got, I think we talk about having a lot of time but not really having time. Is that what you're about?
Yes. And what I was gonna say is Ukajanga in his book, These Things Happen to Me. I think these things really do happen to me. I think he talks about this whole moving away from this whole culture of like immediate response, of like this whole kind of like, I don't know, like I guess your day being driven by notifications, right? So just because you text me doesn't mean that if it's not urgent, right? It doesn't mean that I have to what? Like text you immediately. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I've kind of told myself that, you know what, because I do find that a lot of people demand, and I feel like people do demand a lot out of me, like different things. It could just be asking a question or this, or can you do this, or can you do that, or whatever. And then now I'm kind of like pushing back. Like it's my way of kind of like, if I reply to you after 2 days, that's fine. Like I don't have a reason, but I just don't have the bandwidth.
You don't need to give a reason. It's interesting. So just today, like I got a message from the aunt. She's sends scriptures, right? So she's like, oh, you know, I hope you're okay. I trust you're okay in your quietness. Psalms 91. And I was like, and I was looking back, I was like, oh, she sent me a message on Saturday. I didn't respond. And the last message I think we spoke was 17th of April. And I was like, you know, I am sorry for being quiet. And that is my go-to verse, like Psalms 91. And that is some comfort. And she responded, you know, because you know, sometimes, you just even dread that responding because someone's now like start making you feel bad for not responding before. But she actually said it's okay to be quiet. It's a sign of maturity. I was like, I'll take that and I will run with it, because I think I think there is an element of witty. There's that, I don't know, it's that instant gratification where you're like, you send a message, you want to kind of engage in a conversation. And it's something that we started like a while ago when you used to say, do you have a spoon? Do you have a spoon?
Yeah.
Because people be going through stuff, people are going through shit on a daily basis that you don't necessarily know. So when you message and you want to share something, or you just want to see how someone is, you just need to bear in mind that maybe they're not necessarily having a good day. And which is another interesting point. I had a conversation with somebody like a while ago, and they were talking about how, you know, they didn't share, like how difficult it is sometimes to share stuff with some people, especially if things are going well for them, you know, or in a group of friends, and you may not necessarily want to share something that is hard for you to share, or something that's maybe will cause a little bit of hurt or maybe difficult to hear, especially if somebody next to you has got something really positive or something happy going on for them. And I was like, I think one thing that I have learned from everything that's gone on in the past few weeks, months, is that, you know, you as an individual are important. So there may be times where you need to kind of push to get your voice to be heard. And I think it's difficult to kind of balance it where you are in a space like, you are having such busy days, right? And during the day, you already have your lunchtime routine. And I know, for example, if I don't know about your lunchtime routine, but I need something from you at lunchtime, it's about also just balancing that routine or having that awareness that sometimes people are not always going to pick up the phone when you ring. They're not always going to respond to your message when you text. It's an element that strength needs to come from within you. You need to come within yourself. You need to kind of hold your head afloat. And I think that can be quite difficult sometimes.
No, it can be. And I think there's an element of, I guess, almost you kind of create a safe space in terms of like who you constantly interact with, right? So then there becomes an ease with even just the exchange of messages. You almost don't feel that kind of like, I have to psych myself out. You know what I mean? So I think for me, like I've always said, like generally, like probably, like I'm saying now, probably I talk to a little bit more people constantly, but on a normal time, probably on a daily basis, I talk to 2 people constantly max. Like that's
just with them.
Yeah, that's just my, like just how like small my circle is, like 2 or 3 people max that I talk to all the time. And again, to contradict myself again, probably the people that I talk to most of the time, it's kind of like then I kind of feel a bit like it's kind of like a call and response. You kind of want to feel that same energy, and for the most part they do, like I'll text you or whatever, you know what I mean? Like on Twitter or whatever, if I see something funny, I'll send it to you, send it to me, send it, to whatever. So it's kind of like you just create that kind of like, there's people that you can talk to on Twitter, talk to on WhatsApp, FaceTime, Instagram. Yeah.
I have to be honest and say, like, honest. We should title this honesty. I'll be honest and say that
honesty.
I'm somebody who's very within, like I'm very within myself, right?
Yeah.
I value my space. There's days when that's how I process life. So I sometimes need just to be away from things and to be in my own headspace, just to kind of think things through. Like sometimes I feel like there's a lot of dust, and then things kind of, the particles fall and they settle, and that's how I process things. Bring me back to my initial questions, like how are you spending your day as well? It's like, you already mentioned your lunchtime thing, so you're working, you've got your lunchtime thing, but what other things are you consuming? Because I being in my space has actually made me realize that I'm just like, I just don't know where the time is going. Like I get home, or even if on a weekend, it's like, where has time gone? And have I done anything? Have I listened to anything? I listen to music 100% on a daily basis. I'll listen to something. But Konoko, I know I am resting. I feel well rested. I feel well rested now than I did even months ago. But it's just about, I feel like, oh my God, I feel almost like, am I spending too much time in my own head? Does that make sense? Like, I feel like just too much within myself, if that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense. But I feel like, I mean, I agree with you that I definitely share your, share that feeling of like, where's time going? Because literally, like, now I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
And, well, today now, because after midnight.
Yeah.
I'm like, today's Friday, like, it's the weekend. And then it's kind of like, what I know with me is time just seems to have flown by. Like, we're in May.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that almost like we're nearing half the year?
Yeah.
Right? But for me, what I know is I have not had a routine. Like, work is my only routine. And I'll be honest, even with work, it's kind of like I do this thing where I find sometimes I finish work late just because during the day I haven't been like, work is quite a lot, but because sometimes like how I'll start a little bit late or whatever. So this week for the first time, that's when I've been like, you know what, I want to try and implement routine, because I do think that we are kind of getting back to some kind of
normality,
you know, more activity outside and stuff like that. And I want to make sure that, you know I don't want to put pressure on myself to be like, oh, you should have done this during quarantine or whatever, right? But there's little things like I've been into like decorating, like bits by like the flat a little bit, like just changing this. I got a TV stand that I did. I got a carpet, a rug that's coming, whatever. So it's like little things like I'm fine because and I know why. It's because I'm spending more time indoors at home. So I wanna feel, you know, I'm because it's home, like you want to make it feel like home. So like you've got more time to think about that. But yeah, my routine has been so bad. So that's the thing that I need to work on. I recently joined a quarantine boot camp. This
and booty camp.
No, boot camp.
All right, okay.
I mean, but yeah, it's basically it's like this 28-day thing. It's this girl, she's a personal trainer. She like she used to train me a while back. So she's doing this camp, like you pay £15 for 28 days, and she does classes on via Zoom every day. Like this is my first week, like at 6 p.m. like, but tomorrow like there's a class like at noon, and then on Saturdays there's like there's gonna be like a cooking thing. So I was kind of like, okay, I miss that physical aspect, because I used to go to the gym. I used to do my daily walks like during lunch at work around the park. So even those little things, when I used to do them and I used to think, oh, I'm not really seeing a difference, whatever. But even now, like it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm craving that.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me a balance that I'm missing.
Yeah, I too have been doing like some virtual online workouts and stuff. I recently got like a skipping rope, so I'm really enjoying that. Like I get bored with exercise, so I need a bit of variety. So I ran for a little bit at the start of the year, and I got bored with that, and I walked.
You were doing great.
Yeah, then I got bored with that. So now I've got skipping, which I'm really enjoying. So it's quite good. So I did like, you know, like doing like 5 minutes at a time, like for an hour, then waking it up and then doing other things in between. I'm really enjoying it. It's been good. It's been good. So I guess maybe that's one of the things that I do on a regular basis, is doing some form of a workout so I can have my strala and not feel guilty. Because like, you know, if you know me, like food is the way to my heart. And even just now, I'm just thinking, oh, you know, food or something. You know, keep the jaw moving.
The what? Is it because it's after midnight?
Can we talk about that Instagram live? Oh my goodness.
Can we not? Can we not? Huh?
That conversation turned left because of you.
Right, listen. So guys, if you're listening, make sure that you're following us on Instagram, Gellin's Guys. And you know, just as I was saying this, my Bible verse notification came on.
It's a sign.
Rah. Do you know what?
Free from all evil thoughts.
God. So follow us on Gellin's Guys on Instagram.
When people are just about a few of the questions that you came on live to ask.
Don't worry. No. That is for our like the community on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, you're not going to be part of this conversation. So you need to follow us on Instagram. So we okay. So basically, we tried like doing like an after dark thing on Instagram. What is that?
We tried.
We yes, well done. You did.
No,
but
hold on. I tried to do something for the people, check in, connection, connectedness. Natasha came in, skewed the conversation, sharp left.
Bruh, you know me.
Anyway, it's fun.
I give the people what they want. No. So we had like an
Carry on.
No. I was just saying. So we had like an after dark where we were asking, as Xolie would say, pertinent questions, and stuff. But I think what we're probably going to do these every now and then. But it's just.
What's the next one?
You what?
I cannot wait.
Yeah, we'll do it. But like I said, it's if you know, utani, right? Is that the saying?
I don't know.
Like if someone is telling, like you don't get the full picture. So guys, like follow us on Instagram. So we'll be doing those where we'll be asking, like I say, because sometimes, guys, we need to learn these things, how to, post quarantine. Some of you guys are going to be with your baes and all that stuff. You guys may need to, I don't know, teach us how it's done. Some of us, obviously, we live vicariously through the stories of other people because we do not partake in these things, but it doesn't mean we can't learn.
So
because I'm done.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
As you were saying, living vicariously through other people. Sis has got all the tea there. She's busy. She's the one who knows the business. But no,
I don't know anything. I don't know nothing.
Okay.
Anyway, if you're listening,
I think it is quite good as well just to have such platforms and spaces to talk about these things, because I think as a community of Africa, I don't know, speaking maybe for myself as a Zimbabwean, is that we never really used to have such discussions, growing up, because you went to school, don't talk about boys, don't talk to boys, and then after that it was just like people then expect you to get married, then have kids, but yet there's really never that discussion on actually how are kids made. It's just the simple biology of it all. Yet I think there's a lot more to be learned, and certainly Sister Natasha has got.
No, don't do that. I just asked a question. I didn't know anything about the. Don't you know? I'm always listening to these topics, and I'm like half shocked. Like, huh? Is this? Even today, I learned a new thing that I didn't know.
Do you share?
No, I can't say it.
Oh, come on, give us a little bit.
No, it's kind of it's not bad. It's more to do with how people like people's grooming techniques. I'll put it that way.
Okay, females or males or both?
Females, because I was talking to a female,
okay,
and they were telling me about what they do, and I was like, wait, what? Like, you'll be doing all that? Like, I didn't know.
Okay, you mean there's more?
But I learned. Huh?
You mean there's more? Like, let us learn too, sis. Like, come on, share.
No, No, I'll tell you. No, I can't say it. I can't say it. But
There's someone else out there who could learn from that. I think we need to move away from being
this
having
girl.
side conversations. Like seriously, if it's something that can help another sister somewhere else, then you should share.
No. Do you know people exfoliate?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like they.
Yes. Yes, 100%. It helps.
No, but
Yes.
is it like using masks, like the one you use for your face?
Oh, I didn't know that. Like those peel-off ones. Those
No,
ones that you put on, then you peel it off like that.
no, like the mud.
Oh, mad. I can see how that would work. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, but I've heard about exfoliating. Like I think if you go to any good place to get a wax done, then they'll recommend you to exfoliate.
Yeah. Like I know, like the basic products like that would, whatever, fresh, whatever. But I didn't know the extent.
But you didn't say anything. Whatever. What do you mean? Be comfortable to talk about these things.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. But I didn't know. Like I was like, man. I was like, and then the person was like, treat it like your face.
Yeah, but I get that. Like I've certainly never heard of using like mud or I'm a face mask, but I've heard about exfoliating. Because the type of hair that we have is very coily, and you're more prone to having like I'm done. I'm done.
Is this because we're recording after midnight?
I don't know.
I feel like
for me this is my safe space. Like
man, I was.
I mean, yeah,
I learn every day.
Yeah,
I learn every day, and I was like,
what face
huh?
mask?
No, the person was like, they said a lot, like all the like whatever, and I was like, hey, wow.
What's the whatever bit? Any tips like on how to exfoliate? Like what are you all using to exfoliate? Because I know some people actually make their own stuff.
Yes, that's what the person was saying. They're on some sugar and this, like, and then you put it. I was like, I said, wow.
It is what it is.
And I've learned something about just living vicariously through people. I mean, obviously, wow, guys. But you know what? A good girl guide is always prepared.
All the time.
Even if there's nothing.
Oh. Are you talking? If there's nothing, is like, well.
I mean, there's no activity.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose.
But a good girl guide is always prepared. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we learn every day. So if you got then please hashtag Girl in Skies.
I feel like we need to bring in someone who's like an expert on these different things and who can talk. Because like I said, I learn every day that I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing.
So you know nothing.
I don't like this propaganda that you keep pushing. I don't know anything. But I do probably talk more like, but it's just all talk. Because I'm curious.
Do you think we should have a day when we talk about, I don't know, just invite a few people on and we talk about Konoko? We start from grooming and then take it the whole way.
I feel so because I think I'm a prude.
Ah.
I don't think I can have the I'm shy.
Since when, Natasha? Just have.
Can't you see? I've struggled to talk about grooming right now.
But when you have your bottle of that pink can.
Yes, equally. As do you know, some things are not for the podcast. Yo.
Yeah, relax. When you're on edge.
When I what?
When you have that energy. When you're on fire.
On demon time.
Well, it's not water in the bottle, you know. Yeah. So maybe that's something we can look at doing.
I think so. I think we should bring someone. So, guys, if you're listening and you're interested, and like, it would be good to kind of get like a guy and a girl's perspective. Like, I think we start from just the basics, Konoko, like what we're saying, and then even just about then maybe people can send in like their questions.
Yes, I agree.
Or they can send in their questions about, because
I think because things are just constantly changing, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah.
Anyhow.
I mean, again, we need people who know what they're talking about, because some of us are vicariously living through others.
I hope that the people who come on are people who I kind of think would come on. I won't say their names, but I hope. And if we do get those guys on, then it'll be like fire.
Yeah, but obviously it's quite a lot to ask for someone to come on a podcast, and like,
especially when you're doing like this. We could have it in such a way that
we could record and just do it audio, not like.
Yeah.
But I think the visual would bang.
The visual.
Actually, it's something that hopefully post-current, we just don't know what this new world will look like, and when things will kind of get back to normal. But it would be oh man,
can you imagine
if we're in the studio? It would be good.
Yeah,
it would be good. But honestly, like, even like when we did our Instagram live, it was just interesting, like hearing different things, like things that I've never heard of. And I'm just like, oh wow.
What is it that you've never heard of when you're the one asking the questions?
But Tom, do you remember one of the questions was something I heard on the Receipts podcast?
Oh yeah.
And then I heard this on the Receipts podcast. I literally had heard it that week about the ice. And that was just my question. And then people in the comments were like, Nat hears a lot of things.
It's true. You do though. I've had. AKA, this is what happens to me.
Yeah, people out here putting ice.
Like some of the things that are out there is just like wow.
I mean, when Omarion was like, I got an icebox where my heart used to be. Like,
but icebox is elsewhere.
No, but icebox. Maybe he meant something else.
Dude.
Maybe he was. Listen. I don't know.
I can't. But anyway, episode. So let's see.
Yeah.
How that goes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But guys,
yeah, that's
uh,
been
this has just been a rambling episode, and I'm praying that
been
this this take works, because guys, we literally have been trying to record
no joke.
for 4 hours.
No joke.
No joke. Initially it was my fault. Apologies, Goli, I was late.
I'm sorry. I knew what was wrong first before I went on my rampage.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about lateness?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Get it off my chest. Because I feel that if you have got scheduled something with someone at a certain time, it's you coming 45 minutes later or an hour later or half an hour later it's not fair.
I agree. Wait, let's talk about lateness. It's like it's supposed to be a general topic, not a rant.
General topic. You just add it onto our thing. Because you respect people's time. You can cut that.
Okay.
But that's it.
That's fine. We're keeping it.
Just cut that. Anyway.
No, that's fine. No, I hear you. Completely hear you.
I hear you too. I heard like what you said earlier, and I don't wanna. It definitely it's planted a seed, so it's set in my head. Everything Matt just said, I took on board. I never want to make you feel like that.
I feel seen. I feel heard.
Okay, but see me too, because my feelings are important too.
I'm so sorry, Chloe, that I was 45 minutes late to this podcast recording. Life happened, but yes, I agree. And to be honest, it's I think I mentioned it again. I don't know which take of the podcast I mentioned it on, was about even like with like church. Like I'm finding that I'm cutting it fine. Attending on like online church, and it's kind of like, that's really bad. Like you're at home, you have no reason you'll get
to the pearly gates. Actually, to be me holding the book of life.
Thank God you're not God. Thank God you're not God.
12:45. I'll be like,
be gentle with my book.
As you just feel my vibe. At 12:45, I'll be like, Peter, shut the gates. Let's go. 12:46, Natasha. I'm kidding, love. I wouldn't do that.
Thank God you that's God.
I'll be there like 12:45 till the following day, letting people in. Like, I know, I'm kidding.
Thank God you are not God. But no, I completely understand. But give me credit though. Like, this is my first time being late.
Yeah.
Since I rehabilitated myself.
Yeah.
Rah, don't do me like that.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. You have from the last time you were late with the Zoom meeting. You were late.
For the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
For the pod?
Not counting though. Not counting.
For the pod?
You were late, chick.
No, we were trying to sort it out together. Don't you remember? We were trying to figure it out.
Well, I figured later, and I even said to you, I was like, oh, if we had a little bit more time, we would.
Oh, so this was pent up.
It wasn't pent up.
So this wasn't just about today.
Whatever, man. Anyway.
This is, we wanted to play that song.
Is getting this recording over to you. It's going to
Guys, let me tell you something. I think, Oli, you mentioned it at the beginning, right?
I don't even know how I did.
Guys, thank you so much for bearing with us. Like, we're literally trying to work it out as we go. Like, Oli, oh, Brent, the other time, remember he had to help us.
I'm not technologically, like, you're a lot better with the technology than I am.
I am, but making me realize I need to step up. Like, I need to, get like software. Like, we're talking even about like the mics that we need. We need a sound card. Because like we're talking about music, which is why we didn't play music the last time. And stuff. Yeah. And also, yeah, it's good. It's a good learning, to be honest. Like, it felt really good putting out that episode, and it also felt good that people like listen to it and everything. And I know Uti like a lot, which is what like Brent was saying. He was just like, almost every other podcast has issues with sound. Like
they actually, and it was the same. It's just like
yeah. That's what he said. He's like he's just like, you just need like people who listen to you guys understand that this is what's happening and all that. So don't not put it out just because you're like, oh, it's not the standard that we're used to and everything. But hopefully we'll keep improving week after week, and we thank you so much for your help, like just for supporting us.
I can't wait to get a hug from Brent.
Yeah.
Brent hugs. Guys. Eti. He really gives you like, because he's so tall. Anyway. My man listens to this podcast. My man's hugs are good too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Girl, why do you think I'm even upset? Like, those hugs were my highlight. Like, it's the only like male touch I would get on a regular. Like, but
anyway,
did you listen to the Receipts podcast? They say the same thing. I don't know if you listen to them, but everyone is like, is like, yeah, we miss Brent. Yeah, we miss Brent.
Which is not like something, we get tested for COVID and then we go for hugs because it's needed.
Wow, your priorities are like take it so that you can get hugs from friends.
They're therapeutic, it's therapy. It's therapy.
Yeah.
But anywho.
But no, it's been good. I know.
And he's hugging every girl the same way.
But he does hug everyone the same way.
I wouldn't be comfortable with that,
Talk with her. If you
tell her to come closer to the mic. What did she say?
Don't wake up the neighbors.
Nat, like if you were to date Brent here.
Yo, hey. Such things.
Right? Yo, I feel like the way he gives his hugs. Would you be like,
such statements can kill our podcast careers? God.
Like, would you be comfortable with him hugging other girls the same way he hugs you?
If I were dating?
Yeah.
I'm
so sorry.
No, but let's take it away from the person we're talking about, and let's just make it like generic.
Yeah.
No, but however, who like was saying like Brent, like we know, like I know Brent's character.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were his girl, that wouldn't because I know how he carries himself. Does that make sense?
Mm.
but it's not. But generally speaking, yeah. But it depends on the type of person. But this person that you talk about, because I know how like they move and
That is
everything.
That is true.
Like that means
That's so
nothing.
many prince. That's what
No.
not, you know. It's not because there's some people who will be enjoy like they are actually now enjoying giving the hug more than the recipients.
And think about
like that.
Like the type of abantu that he comes across, like I'm a celebrity and everything, but gakho phased by it, you know.
Yeah.
So that person, but generally I do get what baby girl is saying.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, because she's one like she participates on the podcast.
I do.
Anywho.
What happened?
If your aunt wants to swap quarantine partners,
no, I actually think we deserve to do that. I think Tam should come here, or you can come here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
because I mean you not seem to have the spirit of mothering, of so I think what do you think, Tam?
All out of love is all out of love, man. That's all it is. And
like, I feel like you would really get on, like you would be so happy. Like I'm just like, yo, like can there be peace?
Well, routine is Saturday, Sunday. It's then
let me tell you, I've never cleaned so much in my life. Like if the house is not smelling of bleach.
A woman after my own heart.
Oh my God. I'm like, what?
It smells so good.
Oh my God. Anyway, do you know what I wanted to keep talking. I want to try something.
I was actually thinking tomorrow weekend we need to try, because we're on a ground floor flat. I think we should try and clean the outside windows.
Hey.
You can. So that when you open the curtains or the blinds, you see the proper sun, the sunlight streaks through.
Yeah. Ndebele mom. Yeah.
Guys.
Michael.
It's scary.
Sekusele ukuthi ubukhala ngokuthi ungamphenduli.
Yes. Ungamphenduli nanko mala. Ungamphenduli. Ngile BP.
Kade uphenduli xa ukhuluma ngomala.
Kade kwezi BP. Try mazwele iphela the day quarantine iphela. That woman makes sense.
No, okay. On another episode, I want us to dissect the romanticizing that we have of of mothers who think high octaves are the deal.
Yeah, for sure. Because
I listened to that clip and I was like, oh, man, I don't want to be that kind of mom. But it's difficult. Because I don't know, it's difficult because, I think we mirror a lot of what we see growing up, and it's just, I don't know, it's just that thing of like, I don't want to be the kind of mom who's not happy seeing their child just relaxed. Like, no, relax, it's fine, I don't need to be raising my voice all the time.
Right.
I don't need to be like, if mom is sad, angry, that's the mood of the house. That's how a lot of us grew up, It's like, and then, okay, this is probably gonna be like 2 hours now, right? And then I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, right? And what were they talking about? What context were they talking about? But like Joe Budden podcast is one of my favorite toxic masculinity, but podcast. But they were saying, like, you know, when you grow up and you realize that, like, your parents were just regular people, like a lot of what they did makes sense. And then they were like, you know, like sometimes you'd be like, you know, I know it sounds bad, like you'd be like, I can't understand why mom left dad, or I can't understand why dad left mom. Like, oh, this person is toxic. I wouldn't want to spend that much time with them. And it's funny because, like, I laugh, but I was like, it's kind of true. Like, sometimes you'd be like, man, nah, this woman is hella toxic, or this man is just trash.
Yeah, it's true. I think, and you realize it a lot more as you get old, as you get older. I certainly, like, you're right, with the high octaves, like, it's not within my character to do that.
No, you don't do that.
I've never yelled at you.
Are we having a live reaction?
We're having a live reaction. No, I haven't. But I think because I am a calm person and I really process things, like, before. Like, of course, there's things when I'm just like, oh, this girl, like, you know, and then I'll be like, Auntie Tamara, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, so I will get frustrated. And I think that's what we're seeing in that video, is frustration. But, you know, it's also about how you carry yourself, and also bearing in mind, Uti, guys, food is meant to be, it's meant to be consumed, right? I'm not saying that you have an excuse to have it within a day. Of course, there's money that has been used to buy that. But if it hasn't been thrown out and it's been had, then that's, like, I'm not fussed about things like that. But I think a lot of, I guess, especially when I've been driving into work and I come back home, and I used to think the way this is not going to sound very pretty, but I think about the way I used to, when, like, abadala, when they came home, just the way the mood would change. Like, you know, you'd be happy, you'd be running around, jumping on the sofas, feet on the sofa, feet on the sofas, eating on the sofas, doing all sorts of things. And then 5:30 or 6 a chai, you hear the engine, and you start tidying up, you start doing all these sorts of things. And so when I come home, I'm just thinking, gosh, you know, I hope that the person at home is not thinking, oh gosh, it's nearly 5 o'clock, kind of thing, you know. So I'm very conscious of that. I always try to kind of keep the balance, or the energies in a good kind of level. And of course, there's days when I'll have a bad day and I'm not necessarily wanting to be happy, but generally I think I never want someone to feel like, oh, you know what, and even if someone comes to visit, I don't want people to feel like they are visitors. Like, I want people to feel like I'm at home. And I think that Tina Sikula, there was an element, Oti, you were just, you know, you were somebody living in a house, but could you ever feel like you were at home? Yes, to a certain degree, but to a certain degree, as long as our dala were around, the atmosphere was different.
Yeah, that's the thing. And now, even, like, I think about, sorry, I know, like, way over, but, like, even now when I think about, I don't know whether at my age, like, am I just less mature than wow, hello. Some live reaction there.
Is that the corona? What's happening? No, she's not even listening.
She seemed to be agreeing with that less mature.
Sorry, start again.
Am I just less mature?
She wasn't listening, I promise you. Maybe she's still on her phone. So.
Am I just less mature than people who were, like, you know, in their 30s? Like, I think about what my mom achieved when she was my age. She had like at my age, she had like an 11-year-old. She had property. She was, she was umnikazi wempuphu, like, and I'm like, rah. Okay. But I wonder if they also kind of, like the same things that we kind of deal with, like the same way we think. I wonder if they kind of went through that, like where you feel like you didn't have life figured out, but then it kind of feels like they did have life figured out.
But did they?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
We look at them and say that they had life figured out because they had achieved certain things. But also us in our generation, at the age that we're at, we have achieved probably more in terms of career, in terms of education than they did. So the times were different. At that time, it was about family. It was about getting out of the house, starting a family, and of course for certain women like your mom it was education, getting, and kids. But for some, it was just literally having stabilizing your family home. And what we and bear in mind, Tina, we have come at our age and we have literally been we've been subject to black tax. We have literally, so life for us hasn't gone as it has as expected, so to speak, because we're then put in an environment where we are not, we don't know, we have to learn, we have to adjust to that. And when they were already home, these people were home, they had everything around them, they had family around them. So they had people who were like, chata nini pela, and it was easy for them to be chatty. So lapa, they're saying chata nini pela, and you're like,
with who?
With who? With whom? With whom must we chatter with, So it's just different. It's different times. And I think we need to move away from putting such pressures on ourselves. This is what our parents had achieved. And we shouldn't expect the same for our children. Our children should strive to be better. They should be, they should do whatever they fancy doing, whatever suits them. But we shouldn't put pressures on them and say, by the time you're 30, by the time, hello. By the time I was 20, I had my first degree. I'm just out there. Just saying. But, I've also done things that, I also had, had other things that are not necessarily noteworthy, so to speak, coming out of putting myself in debt, getting myself out of debt, So there's loads of things. That we can't.
No, that's true. But it's kind of like it's a scary feeling to feel like, like, does there get a point where you're like, yep, this is it, like I got it figured out, like I am mature, like I am, like, so it's kind of scary.
You feel mature?
In some aspects, yes, in others, no. But I trust myself that I think I handle myself maturely where I need to, where it matters.
Yeah.
Like I know how to act. I know how to.
Like you wouldn't embarrass somebody, like.
No. I know how to. If I need to activate being an adult, I know how to do it. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Like I know I can handle big things. Like if I needed to, plan something. Yeah.
You can handle what?
No, like I mean, like important things. Like if I don't know.
Basically.
I will.
No, so you feel like you can switch maturity on and stuff.
Yeah, but I know that I'm very like I have a child I can still tap into my
childhood, your inner
child.
Yeah.
So I know how to not take myself seriously. I like having a laugh. Blah 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 blah. But I think, yeah, I'm mature where I need to be. But it's just kind of scary to be like, man, I still, like, I would have thought, once you, like, there's some certain things that you, like, maybe aren't into and stuff. But what I do know is, as I've gotten older, like, I forgive myself for, for getting things wrong, and also for, I'm just open to kind of, I just want to have fun, man, because I'm like, I want to so, how can I put it, like, really fully immerse myself and experience moments of joy and of happiness, just because, life sometimes does what it does, and it's not always, giggles and stuff.
I agree. To be honest, I feel there is, what is that word again? I've been honest quite a lot today. So I am now in my, am I like mid-30s?
No.
Are you in your mid-30s?
Me, yes.
Okay, so I'm in my mid-30s, and and I feel like, for me, I am now, it's like I'm reversing. So honestly, like, the number of times my child says to me, it's like, "You're childish," and I'm just like, yeah, because I've just literally tapped into my inner child, and I have just stayed there. And I'm loving it, to be honest. There's days when I'm just like, actually, I don't particularly feel like being responsible today. And somebody feels like she can take on the responsibility,
Yeah.
And I think, Tamara feels like she's the one who is more mature, and she'll constantly remind me, she's the one, she's literally screaming at me that I'm childish the whole time. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm happy.
But I feel like a lot of us in our 30s, like, feel like that. Like, I feel like like, sometimes I look at, like, for some reason, like, when I was 19 or so, I always remember that time, because I think it was at that time that I, like, gave my life to Christ.
We need to go into church and how it's shaped us at another.
Yeah, like that. So that was quite a pivotal time, and it really kind of shaped me, like, like, going to church, like, hearing the word, like, I was really rooted, like, in that. And I think I was quite mature. Like, I even look at, like, like, I had this journal that I had, which had, like, my 5-year plan. And, like, I had, like, something which was called, like, which I said a vision for my life, whatever. And it was interesting reading back, and I was like, oh, some of these things, maybe I may not have achieved them, but actually I've kind of gone through, like, that trajectory. Like, I remember one of the things that I was like, oh, like, as a vision for my life, I was like, oh, I want to have a voice. And I want to use that voice to bring people together and stuff like that. Like, it was also high level, but I'm like, oh, it's funny, like, when you write things down. And I was 19 then, right? And I just think, but now, not that I'm less mature. So at the time I was quite rigid. I was not, I was very, everything was focused. Right, wrong.
No, like, very focused, like, no gray areas.
Yes, everything was right and wrong, black and white. Like, I didn't, like, like, I look back, like, like, I never even used to, like, for example, like, I never used to drink and stuff. And, no, I didn't. Like, I, like, I feel like I was quite, like, quite focused. I don't think that was wrong. Because even I think about, like, just, like, my career trajectory, like, I was quite bold with it, like, this is what I want to do. But then I think along the way, like, life happens, and then you kind of feel like, man, like I've tried to do things like the right way or whatever, like, like life knocks, life's knocks, right, come at you. And it kind of makes you think like, I don't want to take myself seriously. Like, I just want to like, again, I don't know, maybe in my 40s I'll feel totally different. But like, for me, like now, I really am enjoying my 30s. Well, I'm enjoying them, although like there's anxieties that come with it,
of course.
right? And the anxieties are probably really linked to, what we were talking about before, about how we're linked to what our productivity is in different aspects of our lives, right? So I think that's where maybe like the anxiety bit comes in. But otherwise, to be honest, this is like probably the first time that I'm like, this is me. Like, I know who I am. Like, I know what I like. I know when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I know when yeah, like I'm happy in sort of like who I am. Whereas I think before I used to, like, even like in school, when I look back, like I was never like, I don't think like if you spoke to people that I went to school with, they would be like, oh, Natasha's person, like they wouldn't remember my personality because I didn't have a personality. I wasn't who I am today at all. Like, I just used to blend in. Like, I used to take on the personalities of my friends, I think. But I do think, and we'll talk about this, but I do think like with me, when I went to school, like I was a year younger than the stream that I was in, because I started school at 5, right?
You were young.
So I think that actually didn't do me good, because I was always playing catch up with people who were a little bit more mature than I. And so I kind of realized that even like now. So like, but anyway, I've been talking without stopping. But yeah, just to kind of say, like, there's a freedom that just comes like being older, and like I think you face your own mortality. And
sure.
And that makes you think like, oh, you know what, I want to have like happy moments for myself. Like, you see how like, whether adults or people around you like unfortunately pass away, and how it seems like it's so quick that people move on. And you're just like, live your life. So even what you were saying, like, I totally relate to that. And I think it's fine. Like, I even see like my little cousin, like they're very like, like on it and everything, and I'm like, no, that's fine. That's their learning curve, and hopefully, life will be kinder to them.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like for me, like, I guess my reverse maturity, or whatever it is that you call it, I think there is an element of coming to accept myself for who I am. And I think like, and this is for me has happened in the last few years, to be honest. I used to hide a lot of myself. Like, I would only show certain parts of who I am to certain people. But now I'm just like, oh, you know what? This is me. And if I can accept myself, then I hope that people around me can do the same. And I feel like I am just so aware as well of just how important it is to make memories for people around you, because you just like you said, life is very fickle, life is very short. Life is very short, and the things that you remember most about people are what you have left is memories. And I'm very conscious of the fact that I want to build happy memories around me, with people, and because, you know, when you're not there, like, you know, like our mutual friends, I always say to them, Wuti, you know what, when it's awful to have such morbid talks, but it's the reality in that Yazi, he's someone who is omela abantu, you know, like if ever I have an issue, even I was just thinking, I was like, oh, I should, if this is missing, I'm like, oh, let me call so and so, because Nyawatu Uzabuya, like, is so reliable. But that's the sort of person in my head. Like when I think about like Abadala, for example, the way they had that one person in their circle who they could rely on for everything, you know, because they'll come and sort this out. So I think it's important to kind of strengthen the connections and strengthen the friendships that we have, because in essence, they're now, it's not even just about friendship, it's now like more family as well.
Yeah.
So I think knowing that there's people I know who can carry stuff on, even on my behalf. Like if I was to say to you, Natalie, oh, can you do this for me at such and such a stage? It's just, and it's having that comfort as well. So I guess maybe it's, in a way, it's establishment. I've established myself amongst my friends. I've established myself. I know who I can turn to. I know for certain things, because I think that's the beauty as well of having people from a variety of backgrounds, is that, you know, if I need something like from a written perspective, I'll come to you. If I need something from come and help me build a table, I'll go to so and so, you know. So I guess it's just being established in that. I feel like, oh, you know what, I can actually just relax. I can just have fun. Because there is always going to be a way out for me, one way or the other.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. That's fair. And about being, you reminded me when you're talking about like our friend and just like the reliability. I always remember one thing that my mom said to me that I'll remember. Like, I think, when was it? I think it was like my graduation. We had like a little graduation party or something. And then we had this, they're now, oh, you know them. I won't say, but
my cousin.
No, not your cousin. But anyway, I'll tell you offline. But basically, these people like were related, but was introduced through like a certain situation, but then became like really close family friends. And then they came through for me like in a big way, like for my graduation and stuff like that. And I remember saying to my mom, oh, how can I thank Loku Zenanj? And then she was just like, you know, what did she say? Something like, Uti, you can only thank Ngobuhlobo. Like Uta, like the biggest thank you is Ubuhlobo, right? And then what she
This is the person I'm thinking of. One person. Like okay. Anyway, it's fine. You'll tell me after.
Oh yeah, like Ubuhlobo, as in like you have to maintain relationship with them.
I see.
Yeah, like Ubuti, because I was like, oh, like I want to buy them something, right? And then she was like, no, what they did for you and for us was really big, right? What they did was really big. You can't really give them anything for what they did, but the only gift that you can give is ubuhlobo, like continue relating and continue being family. And if I tell you, like, because I was introduced to them, like I say, we are related, but I was introduced through someone else, but these people are now like my family. Like, I think maybe you're kind of, because you kind of have an idea who I'm talking about, right? Like when I say, oh, my uncle and whatever, like those are the people that I'm talking about. And it's because like now you wouldn't even know, because when people say, oh, how are you related? It's like, yeah, we have over somehow, but we maintained. So now, like, even like you know, God willing, like when I have a child or whatever, like that child would relate to them. Like they'll grow up knowing with, oh, you know, go bani, but it's the same like what you were saying, like you and I, for example, right? You know, like when I have child, if anything happens, then you maintain, like we'll maintain those relationships, even like with our friend and his family and stuff like that. I want to believe that, you know, as time goes on, it would be like, oh, you know, my auntie, you know, and all that stuff. And yeah, and I think that's actually quite a powerful thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, onwards and upwards, as I so say, to building relationships and turning them friends into families.
Yes, should that be the title?
Friends into families. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. We've talked about so much. But yeah, the pinnacle.
Yeah, guys, like if you've come to this part of the podcast, you are an MVP. What, they should get a prize. What should it be? They should get something. If someone has got to this part of the pod.
Your age.
No, come on. Let's do something.
Okay, so if at least we get how many? 10 comments on, like, we'll give a hashtag, like, and you know, say hashtag, I don't know, like, you know what, the way we used to do it with songs. And if we have 10 people who comment or whatever, I think you should go on Instagram Live. I think that would be it, sooner rather than later.
How is that gonna help anyone?
Help you.
How is that gonna help anyone? No, we'll think of something. But if you guys get to this part of the podcast, please hashtag Galen Skies MVP, because that's who you are.
Sounds good.
That's who you are. Please hashtag Galen Skies MVP, and
if we get 10, at least 10 comments, we'll think about what we're gonna do for you.
We'll think about it.
Because now we've got, like, I can actually show my proper moves, you know.
We can do suggestions, because like if people want to do, like, I was even thinking, like, if people want to do like a little Galen Sky Zoom thing, like where we just chat.
That'd be nice.
Maybe for an hour or so. Maybe that's something that we could do and stuff like that, because we're going to start creating.
It's nice to see people that you interact with, like you don't have just a handle or, you know, a username. It's nice to see them.
Yeah, I actually think, I think that would be cool. Yeah, so maybe should that be so hashtag Galen Skies MVP, and then if you are interested, we're gonna do like a Zoom thing, but only like to people that have put that hashtag, and those who are interested, like who've put that hashtag and are interested in just having a chat with us.
Yeah.
Does it sound good?
I think it sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna try something. I don't know if this will work. This song. How does it sound? Is it okay? So this is Lee McHoney,
aka
mm-hmm.
aka Mainoku from Wadiwa Moya.
Yeah, and the song is La Pocona. Oh, I love the song. It came out last year, but Xolie, thank you so much for sharing it with me. Like, I did not know it. But yeah, guys, check her out. It's like so good. So Xolie, last words for this episode. Oh, baby.
You're finishing me off. Stay safe, guys, as always. Let's get through this quarantine. Stay safe.
Yes, and yes, guys, stay safe. Hashtag Gallons, guys. Yeah, all of our socials, and big thank you to Tabo for supporting the pod today. There's somebody else that we did not mention. I'm forgetting.
Oh,
is there?
There is. They've been trying to give us money, or send us money, but failing. So yeah, thank you in advance. I'm sorting it out.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I feel like I'm missing some. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. So don't forget to hashtag Gallons, guys. And if you got to this part, hashtag Gallons, guys, MVP. And please, if you got to this part, please know that this episode has been produced with so much love, sweat for you guys, because we are 5 hours deep. Xolie's fed up of me. I'm fed up of her.
I love
what
you.
Time is it?
1:30.
Love you too.
I really do.
Oh,
I see you and I hear you.
I love you too. I love you too. But yeah, guys, signing out.
Latest, people.
Xolie.
What?
Oh, just take a picture.